As owner and founder of C2MG Builders, I'm Kurt Fieldhouse. I'd like to welcome you to the Art of the Craft. Our work is from Boston to northern New England and all areas in between. Our team specializes in custom homes, high-end renovations, and historical restorations. In this episode, we take you to a historic home. This project had many unique features and challenges. Let's take a closer look at the kitchen, the master bathroom, and meet the project manager, Michael Webb. Welcome to our Coast of Maine project. This was pretty close to a total renovation of tons of structural work, and it was an absolute pleasure to work on this home. This particular project was a deadline project. It was done in a way that the owners wanted to make sure that it was completed by the time they came back. This is a summer home compound where they can sit in here and make pancakes on their induction oven for their grandkids, and the grandkids can be up on this island with Graham and Gramp doing their thing. There was a huge fireplace which we removed from roof line down. That came out, and then there was a significant amount of structural stuff that had to be repaired and corrected. When we ripped open the walls, all of the beams were unsupported. So that had to be addressed. There was deflection in the ceiling above. That had to be addressed, which involved installing two significantly sized steel I-beams, which are hidden by the millwork that you see up right now. Not to mention the fact that the kitchen floor was out of level 3 inches, which is a significant amount. If it's out of level a few inches, maybe we can deal with it depending on the layout and the casework and how that can all be hidden, but this one had to be completely corrected. Everything was radiant floor, but it was riddled with leaks all over the place. All that got ripped up and redone, and this is all radiant flooring that we installed brand new. Renovation, it doesn't have to be plumb level and square. It has to be right. And right doesn't always mean plumb level and square. It means right. Based on cost and cost situations, you have to be able to modulate back and forth in between the two to get it to right to accommodate what's to come. That's the challenge. In this one, there was no possible way that we could do anything other than make the floor perfectly level. Because if you take a look at the bottom detail of the cabinets, they have an open toe kick that has a certain decorative design to it. If that's not correct all the way around, it's going to be witnessed. Sometimes the design drives the structural work and how far you have to go. But in this situation, in this kitchen, for the level of detail that they went to, it had to be right.
There was no structural hangers. None of the stuff we do today. So some of those had sagged, some of the nails had given way. So we ended up actually kind of taking that all out and restructuring this with LVLs, which is new products we use today with the appropriate hangers and all the parts we put together now. So we ended up having a nice solid floor here, where in the beginning, if we tried to build on top of that, we would have had some real problems.
All the details in this kitchen, to me, are second to none. From the Cremone bolts to the kitchen island, which was made completely in one piece and brought in here in one piece, the details are elegant.
Originally, right out here on the river, this is where they used to ship in goods and then transport them out of here. So this was where boats came in, dropped off their goods, and then they were shipped from here. So this was an inspirational photo, and this artist down in Portugal hand painted this onto the tiles. We just put the pieces together. When it was all done, it was just amazing. There's more to it. It's not just like a flat painted picture. It feels like you reach into that tile. There's so much depth to this. They just did an amazing job.
Truth be told, one of the greatest things about a project like this is that you can't skimp on the painting. The painting is everything. You still have to blend and sand the old to the new because there's going to be such a vast difference between what was painted in the old and what's painted in the new and making them work. And you can't unsee a bad paint job. I think the way the whole kitchen laid out is kind of unique unto itself, despite the fact that things brand new. It fits within the house, and that's a compliment to the interior designer who put it all together. Her vision was executed on with our intent and our commitment and got to the best end result.
I've done a lot of kitchens in my lifetime. This kitchen to me is the most amazing kitchen I've put in. This is a true custom kitchen. This whole bottom section here, this is not individual cabinets, one cabinet. This thing here, one cabinet. So it's not a bunch of boxes put together. These are made. This cabinet came in as one cabinet, this whole thing.
I would have to say this is my favorite kitchen. Awesome renovation up in the master bathroom. The whole area where the master bath is completely different, to include roof line structure that we had to add and alter, installed new windows. The entire floor inside that master bathroom area is one large waterproof copper pan that's underneath all the structure.
One vanty's a little lower for the wife, the other one's a little higher for the husband. They added these little mirrors on the wall because they've had them in the past, they liked them, so we had to kind of accommodate to make all that work. That detail on that scrolled backsplash, that was a little tricky to get those at just the right height to make sure all that came together under there.
Renovation unto itself is an art. That's part of the art of the craft. Not everybody thinks that way. How to blend new to old and old to new and make it look like it grew together. There's a finesse to that. There's a touch and a feel of how that all integrates and works together, and it's not easy. It requires a lot of thought. Building a team that can work together on a unified front to get to the best end result, that's what it's about. That is servant leadership. That's what we do. We lead by serving. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. I hope you've enjoyed learning the art of the craft. God bless.